Hello, hello, and welcome to a new episode of Convert on Shopify. My name is Pancho Mendiola, and today I had an awesome conversation with Jyoti Malik. So, she is a conversion research specialist and also a conversion copywriting specialist. And we had just an amazing conversation about all of these topics. How do we use these methodologies to impact the bottom line? And she also described what the bottom line is. And you'll see that I got really excited because that's the bottom line as well for me. And I kind of figured out myself along all of these years. And to have someone else, especially an expert, to come and give me some reassurance, it was just amazing. So honestly, this was a very nice conversation with a lot of information. So get ready, bring out a pen or paper or your iPad or whatever, because there's a lot of information. She just gave us a master class in these topics. So let's go to the episode. Jyoti, thanks again. Thanks a lot for your time. I know that you are a busy person, so we really appreciate your time. Today we're gonna talk about conversion research. I know that's your deal, that's your gig, right? That's what you enjoy doing, and that's what you also do as a living. So you are blessed for that. I would like you to tell us a little bit about what are some issues when we do like opinion based or guesswork development. So we develop a site and we just guess stuff.
Right. Yes. So, Pancho, I mean, this is right a nail in the coffin in terms of e-commerce or any digital businesses at this point of time, right? There is huge competition. There are templates. Every layout of the website, every landing page design has been templatized by the development platforms, right? All these platforms where we can build the websites. Now, the problem with those is that, yes, the turnaround time to take your website live is very good. It can go very fast. But without the research, if you are going to, let's say, copy your competitor, or if you are going to just um go with your intuition to the design or messaging in terms of what is sounding good to us or what looks beautiful to us, this is what we are trying to offer as an offering. Now that the problem is that we don't know if it is going to work or not. We don't know if our target audience whom we are trying to sell our service or product, is this resonating with them? Are we talking about the pain points? Why is it that they should be buying from us and not from anybody else? The problem with using opinions and guesswork is that you will never be able to understand if something is not working on your website, then what is that what is not working. So we wouldn't know, okay, what are the aspects we have to change and how and why. So now these are the things which businesses get to at a much later stage. But if the first step was this, then they are already halfway through their path of success. So this is where, opinion and guesswork led designing of any website can create more harm than good.
All right. So what I understand is that it's better to maybe take a little more time before launch to actually do some research, uh,
Right.
and or don't wait until you I don't know, a year goes by and then now you start to worry about conversion focused web design, right? So
Exactly.
could you launch and then as soon as you launch start optimizing, or you were you rather say no, do it before?
So both the approaches are fine. There is no
Okay.
right or wrong really. But the thing is that if the first step is that you create a website which is optimized for UI UX but not motivation, there you will soon find the problem that people are not converting, right? When we say that have the research first, design your website backed by that research, that would make sure that your website is not only optimized for a UI UX but also for the motivation of users, which will start driving results sooner than later. So that's the advantage of taking this step back and start with the research. But of course, I mean, it's all depends on the business calls. You just got your website designed from someone, then you set up tracking, then you start researching, analyzing, creating those correlations, what is working, what is not working, analyze for the navigation behavior. Basis that research, the optimization program can also be succeeded by that step. Both the approaches are fine, but not the ideal one. So it completely depends on the business needs, and of course, but it's always good to know what you're doing in the first place, right from the first step.
Of course, yeah, and that I asked that question because I think that that tends to happen a lot, especially with with startups that have like little budget, and we are always in a hurry to just like
Right.
get started and then figure it out along the way. But I do see what you're saying, that that even if we go with that approach, we should start from right from the beginning, from launch, to analyze and do a research and optimize. Right. This is nothing. This is something that you just can't wait, because you won't get to a point where you have a problem because nobody's gonna buy, right? or very small, a very small amount.
Right. And you know what? So businesses try to focus on marketing as soon as their website is live, right? And in the e-commerce world, the marketing is what? The 90% of focus is towards ads. Now, getting a healthy ROAS from your ads is very much dependent on if your website is again motivation optimized or not, rather than just UI UX, right? Now, how your marketing is going to perform is directly correlated with what kind of experience we are providing on your website. So it all translates to what are the results you are going to get from your website, from any kind of a channel that you're doing marketing on. So it all boils down to the impact, the performance of your website.
Yeah, totally. And that's also true. And I know. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I know a lot of people. I do some consulting, and everybody focuses like 90% of the resources in just ad spend and this, yeah, and this super like vague and generic messaging, and that used to work before, because
Exactly.
there were a lot less people doing it, a lot less brands doing it. But now there's
Right.
competition, and you need to stand out, and to stand out, you need to focus, right, to find the right person and give them the right message at the right moment. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, all the marketing platforms out there, be it SEO, be it PPC, all these costs are really out of a business owner's hands, right? SEO algorithms keep changing, CPCs are touching all-time high, CPMs are going high. There are so much of security restrictions that these platforms are putting in terms of cookie policies and all of that. So the efficiency of all of these channels is really not in our control, really, right? What's in our hand is the experience that we are able to provide on our website. We always will have control over what happens on our website, which is why having a good focus on what kind of journey you are providing, what kind of data driven approach that you are taking to increase the motivation of your buyers will always help.
All right, awesome. So now let's go to the opposite. So how does conversion focused web design look like? What are some like key stuff that we can do?
Got it. So, be it conversion focused design or conversion copywriting or any development for that matter, the first step is, like we were just talking about, is conversion research, right? Which is nothing but a methodological approach for getting new and insightful information about the behavior of the users on any website. I mean, this is where we get to know where the problems are, what the problems are, and why, in the first place, those are the problems, right? So, in this step, we usually take a step back and look at the entire funnel from the customer point of view. Now, these are the things which usually business owners might miss. They wouldn't know at every step, at every funnel step, what is happening. They might be unaware of these things. But during this process, the conversion research team can really identify all the problems, all the friction areas which might be preventing the users from converting. Now, coming to the conversion focused designing. So, when you do the research and you get to know, okay, this XYZ is the step where people are dropping off most. For example, you see from your data that through your search icon on any e-commerce website, the conversion rate is 4 times that of people who are not searching on the website. But the utilization of the search functionality on the website is only 1%. Now look at the opportunity that is there for the designer there, right? How the problem for the designer is how we can increase the utilization of the search feature on the website, because we already know that people who are searching are converting 4 times better than people who are not. So this is how these two things are related. The in the same manner, what we can see is that on any navigation menu, for example, if people are interacting with an element which is placed on the third sequence and which is converting much better than the one placed on top, then of course there's the work for the designer to really optimize the sequencing there. Now this is with respect to the optimization for any existing website. What do we do for a new business who wants to create a, let's say, new landing page altogether, or there is this new website to be worked upon, right, where we might not have data beforehand? In those scenarios, the heuristic analysis, the competition analysis, all of these make much more sense. The process here would comprise of a much longer scenario where the information architecture needs to be defined. From that, the low fed and mid fed designs needs to be created. A prototype needs to be created essentially. And at that stage, qualitative research can be taken place because, of course, there is no real quantitative data present with the company. So, in that scenario, when the prototype is created, present that to a set of users and interview them. Observe how they are behaving. Is that how you intend them to behave on your website? That then creates as a base for your research there. Understand what is happening, analyze for where things can be improved, and this is where you improve your prototype and then go about launching the design.
All right. You just gave us a mini masterclass in 3 minutes. All right, awesome. So essentially, just to sum it up, for example, if we have data, then we can draw some conclusions and create some hypotheses, and then maybe with the example you gave us with the search bar, maybe do it a little larger, maybe have it in all of the pages, because sometimes it's just in the homepage or it's like right at the footer of the site. So just like bring it up and then test it, see what happens, see if that drives more traffic, and also if the conversion of those people that search withholds, right? And that's on. So if you don't have enough data yet, then we can do more qualitative research with competition, how other sites, what type of information they have, and from that build like the first set of architecture of the information, and then we have to put it out to test. So I was just having some ideas on how to do it. Like before, I know that there were like these like focus groups, but now you could actually just like send a link and then use some tool like Lucky Orange or something, and record some sessions and analyze it afterwards. Obviously, we have to tell the users that we're doing that. So that's a way to do it. That would be a way to do it.
Yes. Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. Absolutely. There are so many user testing tools out there, user brain, usertesting.com. There are n number of such tools out available in the market for different geographies, and we can always hire users there. And it's not a bad idea to really, roll it out within your network to see, to observe people how they are behaving in person as well, launch some moderated and unmoderated tests. And so there can be these different types of qualitative research that can be performed before really taking it live and start driving traffic to the website to get feedback.
Awesome. All right. So this was mainly focused on UX, UI, and let's say the architecture of the information. Now there's another important aspect, which is like what do you write and how do you write it? So conversion copywriting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yes, it's my favorite thing because
I
because
know.
messaging is what really motivates people to take action, right? And how the design and the message goes well together really determines the efficiency of someone taking that action. So when it comes to messaging, conversion copywriting, basically, it gets very easy when the message resonates with your target audience, right? The right words are going to increase users' motivation to take action. Now, how do we get to this? How do we find those right words? How do we find that messaging which resonates with people, right? So, there are, again, we will go back to the research side of things. Now, what type of research to identify those right messages, right words is through voice of customer data. So, there is this entire exercise in the research side of things, which is called message mining. So for any kind of a business, if you already have, if any businesses has been selling on different platforms, have their own website, or if they have competitors, if they're new, they don't have their own data, they don't have their own reviews, but they have, of course, on competitors selling the similar products on Amazon or any other marketplace, you can find tons and tons of reviews online about what people are talking about the same offering that you want to sell or you're already selling, right? Dig deep in what has your reviews been saying, dig deep on what are the problems that people have been talking about in their reviews, what are the solutions that have really helped them, right? So this message mining exercise will tell people what are the problem statements that any solution resolved for them, how they are describing those solutions, how it has impacted their life. You will really come to so much interesting phrases from your own reviews from these people who are leaving the reviews, that they are very very creative, you know. So for someone, yesterday only I was just doing this exercise with one of the team members, and it was about a sunscreen product. And this person laid out a whole paragraph about how it has been magical for their skin, right? And the way that he has explained the experience, there are a lot of phrases and words which, if we are going to use in our own messaging, are going to be so compelling, so persuasive. So, this is the research foundation behind coming up with a conversion focused copywriting. Mine the messages. It's really the gold mine for anybody to everybody to come up with a good persuasive content to be put on their homepage, on their product page, on their content page, everywhere. You will know what matters most to your users. What is it that will impact their decision making process? And what are the things that they would want to see at which kind of a funnel step. So that's all about copywriting. It's really interesting. It's a very fun exercise to really, mine through those reviews.
Yeah. No, and I agree. So I one of my businesses, one of my online stores, we
Mhm,
sell some nootropics. So it's like a supplement for your brain, you know.
mhm,
And it's really funny because like you can see a pattern like super quickly, right? It's like if you actually make the effort to first of all, obviously you need to have a good process for to collect those reviews, because some of the process are just awful, and that'll get you people not to leave good reviews. But if you have a very like friendly and tested process to collecting reviews, you can tell they use the same words. They so we have some also like some photo reviews, and it's super funny because I want to say like 70% of the users take
mhm.
a photo of their product in front of either a keyboard, a monitor, a book, or all of the
Mhm,
above. So like they want to show you that they are
mhm,
being productive with with their photos, and they actually write it out, and they tell you like little stories on how they are able to be a little more productive. And like you said, it's all right there. Like then you can go do ads or write stuff, and or even create ads with those types of imagery, and it's all in the reviews.
Exactly. The easiest way, which I have found, like you talked about setting right processes to do this, right? So, how we usually deal with this is bucket the type of resource, the reviews that we get into different categories. So, does it fit into a motivation type of a message? Is it showing the anxiety of the user? If something explains the pain and problems of the user, or if there is a phrase which actually elaborates the aha moment that the user have had with the competition or with this kind of a solution, basically, right? We also sometimes categorize things into scenarios. So what is the scenario the user was in when he started to find out for that solution? So all of these kinds of bucketing really helps us to talk about, to pick a theme and then test with different messaging scenarios. Then to make it more concrete, you can also then quantify these aspects. If let's say 60% of reviews are directing towards a benefit of the product and not really much about a pain or problem or anxiety, etc., we know that we have to talk about the benefits most rather than the pain and problems that the offering is solving for, right? So there are ways to, of course, quantify all the reviews that we scrape through to understand what gets the most weightage.
Awesome, awesome. I like that. So I know there's a lot to it, right? With when we're talking about conversion, and if we just stay in research, there's a lot to it. So how do we impact the bottom line with the most efficiency? That would be my question.
Got it. To impact the bottom line, I believe usually for any digital business, there are three, four variables that we really have control on, right? One is, of course, conversion rate. So we spoke a lot about conversion research, how it definitely needs to be 80% of your time investment. Then, of course, that will lead to an action plan, and the entire plan can lead to the 20%
Mm,
of the execution, which will yield results. So the most impactful variable which can really impact is conversion rate of your website, which can directly impact the bottom line of the business. That is one. Second is the average order value. So what are the ways where we can improve the average order value of your offering? That can also directly impact the bottom line of your business, right? The third is the cost per session, cost per each visit of your website. That is also something which can really have a great impact on the profitability of the business. These are the three things which, when controlled in an optimized manner, which, when improved on an ever going basis, can really change the game of your business. It's not only about being
mm,
present on all the marketing platforms, on Google as well as on Facebook, etc., etc. But yes, to really have a control on the ROS that these traffic sources are driving for you, it all boils down to one step back and look at what's the cost that you're incurring to drive each session on the website. And then ultimately, of course, the variables like conversion rate, etc., will change the game there. The fourth, which is also again underestimated a lot, is the repeat rate of your business. So, what is the percentage of customers who are buying again from you? What is the lifetime value that you are able to drive through them, right? Is it making sense in the longer run or not? What is it that you are spending to acquire any new customer? And thereby, what is the LTV for that customer, right? So, it really, these four, five aspects are really important to look at when it comes to seeing and observing what will impact your bottom line the most.
mm. I was smiling throughout all that explanation because these literally are the four like key metrics for me as well. That like those are my bottom line. And I love that I got some assurance a little bit, like, all right, I'm not that bad. But yeah, the funny thing is that a lot of entrepreneurs, we tend to focus like on the revenue, right? And we just stare at that number as if we could move it at some way. And I always tell them there's no way to move that number. If you create a strategy to move that specific number, it won't move. It's not possible. You have to move one of those four in order for that one to actually move. So those four are the ones that you have to tweak. And obviously from those, you can go deeper and more granular with other metrics. But those four for me are like the holy grail. So yeah, got it. Awesome. So Jyoti, thanks a lot for your time. I really enjoyed this conversation. I hope that you can come back in the near future, because I know that there's a lot more to talk about, and I can tell that you want to talk a little bit more about it. So we would love to have you again.
Same here. I would love to catch up with you again.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for this awesome conversation, and have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I know that this was a lot of valuable information. And remember, if you want to get more valuable information, go to Convert.com, where you will find tons of research, tons of resources as well. We have a blog, we have videos, we have webinars all the time. There's a lot of experts contributing to the Convert.com ecosystem. So go ahead, Convert.com, and you'll find a lot more information so you can get better at conversion rate optimization. So thanks again for your time. My name is Pancho Mendiola, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.